Hello and welcome to SudoKanard. We are here to solve this Antidiagonal Sudoku by Polish author Michał Stajszczak. Sorry for the pronunciation. Polish is a very difficult language for French people. And this is a puzzle that was taken from the World Sudoku Championship of 2022, the last puzzle of round 2, which had 10 puzzles to solve in 30 minutes. I did not even think of attempting because it was one of the highest pointers. And when I solved it after the event, it was a real struggle. So I hope I will do better on this occasion. So the rules are anti-knight, which means, as usual, that cells separated by a knight's move must contain different digits. And it also has the rules of anti-diagonal, which means that each one of those big diagonals contains only 3 digits. So let's begin. And something I'm seeing is that this 8 is nowhere here, obviously, but it's nowhere here because of the knight's move. So digit 8 has to be somewhere on one of the diagonals. And this 8 sees those cells by the knight's move and this cell, so 8 is in none of those 3 cells. It's nowhere here either. So 4 places, but the important fact is that 8 is not on this diagonal, and by the way, 8 is nowhere here. So 8 is not on this diagonal, and we know that these 3 digits are the same as these, so this is not 8 and this is 8. So this is a really nice interaction, and I don't remember thinking of this when I solved it at the time. And at the time I mean when I did it after the event. Oops. I'm also seeing that 9 is nowhere on this diagonal, nowhere on this diagonal. So 9 has to be somewhere in here. That is not so restrictive. 7, by the symmetrical arguments of 8, 7 has to be somewhere. Well, it can't be anywhere here, so it has to be somewhere on one of the diagonals. 7 won't be here, but it's still possible for 7 to be anywhere in one of those cells. I'm seeing that 5 is nowhere here. It's not here by the knight's move, so 5 has to be somewhere here. So it won't be here. We know that 5 is not on this diagonal. Oh, but there are still plenty of places for 5. So this is not very interesting. Now, let's ponder digit 6. We saw that 8 can't be on this diagonal. The same will be happening with 4 here. So 4 is not on this diagonal. Perhaps I'm supposed to pencil mark 4 in the other cells after all. There was something about it with digit 5. So 5 is not here, it's not on the diagonal, so 4 places with 5. This is starting to be really cluttered. And perhaps there is something about digit 1. So let's ponder digit 6 first. So 6 is not on this diagonal, it's not here, so it's not here. 4 places for 6. And we're left with 1, 2, 3. And 3 obviously can't be here. So 3 won't be in the central cell, 2 won't be in the central cell, and I'm thinking that only 1 can be in the central cell, which is interesting because now 1 must be on both diagonals. So 1 will be somewhere here, and because of this one, only 2 options there. And then, well, lots of options still. But then, with those ones, we can restrict one to those places, and with this one, we can exclude this place. And now those two places tell us that this can't be a 1, because this cell sees both of them. And with those pencil marks, we can see that in the central, in this second column, 1 has to be here, and because of this, 1 has to be here. So is there anything similar there? I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be. Oh, but there's an 8 on this diagonal. I hadn't taken this into account. So 8 there, 8 there. So 8 is here on the diagonal. All right, and there must be an 8 up there as well. And we know that 8 is not on this diagonal, so combined with all of those, 8 is not on the diagonal, so that is an 8. And we can remove this candidate here. In this region now, 8 has to be somewhere in those places. In this region, so with those 8s, we can exclude all of those. And we know that 8 is not on this diagonal. So 8 is limited to those cells. And with those 8s, 8 must be somewhere in here. But seeing those pencil marks, 8 on this column can only be here. And by the nice move, 8 is not here, so it's here. And it's here. Do we have all 8s? No. We'll still need this place for 8. Right, this is really nice. So what is next? 9 is nowhere here, it's not here, but this is not helping. 9 is somewhere out there. Nine is not here, and it's not on this diagonal, so 9 is somewhere in here. So 9 is not here. Oops. And it's not on the diagonal, so only 2 places here. And that's interesting because now on this row, 9 has to be somewhere in those cells, which doesn't seem to bring much to the table. So what about this digit now? We can see that lots of options are impossible. Of 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. I think only 3 and 7 are possible for this. Yes, this is correct. This is from 3 and 7. Oh, and look, this is neither 3 nor 7, so this has to be a 1. Nice. So that's not a 1. This is a 1. This is a 1. This is not 1. This is 1. This is not 1. This is 1. And now this is from 3 and 7. Oh, and here this can't be a 3. So this has to be a 7. So that's a 7. That's a 7. Beautiful. This is much more doable than what I'm remembering. Well, I'm definitely not doing a contest right now. This is probably very helpful. Now I'm seeing that 2 can't be here. It can't be here by the knight's move, it can't be here, so there's a 2 in here, and there's a 2 down there. And an interesting fact included in what I just mentioned is that 2 does not appear on this diagonal. So 2 is somewhere in one of those cells, it's not here. So this is really, really cluttered. And 2 is nowhere here. But this is quite limiting for what goes into those cells. Because the only digit I haven't properly addressed in this heavy pencil marking is digit 3. So the only acceptable values at this point are 3, 4, 5 here, 3, 5, 6. So we know that all those digits are from 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually 3 is not on this diagonal. So 3 can be removed, and the values here are really from 4, 5, 6. There's a 5 here, so this is from 4, 6. This is from 4, 5, 6. There's a 5 here, so this is from 4, 6, and this is from 4, 5, 6. So this is some kind of limitation again. Now 3 is out of this diagonal. Oh, there's a 7 in here. There's a 7 in here, but that's not so useful. 7 is not here, it's not here, it's not here by the knight's move, so we have 3 places for 7. That doesn't seem to be useful. What about 6? 6 is nowhere here. And 3 is nowhere here. And 2 is nowhere here. So I think the only values here are 4 and 9. This is correct. This is a 4-9 pair. 3 and 6 is somewhere in here. The values here are 3 or 6 there, and digits from 2, 3, and 6 in here. So that this is not 9, this is 9. And this can't be 9 by the knight's move. The digits on this row are 2 and 5. And I have to think more about next step. 4 is not here, but there are 3 places here. This is not looking very promising. I'm really not seeing anything more at this point. There must be a 4 and a 5 in here, and the 5 is not here. 5 is somewhere here, but we still don't know whether 5 is on this diagonal or not. Now this is starting to... Oh, digit 9. It's somewhere here, but this 9 removes this option, and this 9 removes this option. So this is a 9. And I can remove 9 from this cell, and from this cell by the knight's move. So 9 is in one of 2 places, and most importantly, on this column, 9 can only be here. That's interesting, but that doesn't seem to be a huge breakthrough. I'm seeing that I haven't placed digit 1 in this area. And just by the rules of Sudoku, 1 goes there. And now this is not 1, and this is 1. There has to be a 4 somewhere here, but I still don't know where. Well, this is really a difficult puzzle. In the previous video, I think I said that puzzles in the World Sudoku Grand Prix, no, World Sudoku Championship, sorry, they are not necessarily harder than puzzles in Grand Prix, but in some instances they are, they truly are. And 50 points is definitely not enough for such a hard puzzle. Well, let's focus on what is happening. I'm not quite seeing what is happening. There has to be a 3 somewhere here, but this is not quite helping. Something kind of interesting is that this cell here sees all 4 cells here. Those 2 just by the column, and those 2 by the knight's move. And this is kind of interesting because this has to be different from both digits here. And it's also different from this digit, which makes sense because this digit is one of them. Well, that's not helping. So, oh yes, 4 and 6 are somewhere in those 4 cells. So this is never from 4, 6. This is from 2, 3, and 5. So will it be helpful? I'm beginning to doubt that it will be, but never mind. This is really interesting anti-knight logic. So the digits in this column are 2, 3, 5, and 6. And this here is different from both, from the content of both cells here. But we still don't know which digits they are. This is really, really puzzling. So is there anything about the geometry? No, the digits are all over the place. This is never a 9 because of those. So 9 only has 2 places in here. So 1, 2, 8, 5, 9. We are left with 3, 4, 7 is in here. So this is from 3, 4, and 6. Well, I will pencil mark that. So whatever. I have to try something. And this something I plan to try is not a bifurcation. So 2, 4, 5, 6 in this column. So this is from 2, 5, 6. Not quite helping. something really interesting is that all 4 cells here see this cell and this cell. Well, they see this by the knight's move, they see this by the knight's move, and they see these just by regular Sudoku logic. So apart from 4, 5, 6, there can't be any other digit. Well, there can still be 7. Well, there can't be any of those 5 digits. So 2, 3 are excluded. 2 and 3 are somewhere in here, and they can't be here, they can't be here. That is interesting. So this is not from 2, 3. The only candidates remaining are 4 and 7. And 4 would be massive, because 4 would then have to be here. And then here. And then here. And there. And there. And there and there, and it would totally work. So no contradiction here. And 7 would then have to be here and somewhere else, but that would have absolutely no impact whatsoever on anything else. What about this? So this is neither 2 nor 3. What can it still be? It can still be 5, 6, or 7. Not that interesting. Except that 5 is not an option. Let me tell you why. If 5 is here, then it's not here, so it's not on the diagonal, and it's not here by Sudoku, and it's not here by the knight's move. So this can't be 5. So is 6 an option? I think 6 is an option, so it would remove all options here, so it would put 6 on the diagonal. So if I put 6 here, then this is on the diagonal. It's not here, so it's there. And then what? It's somewhere on this diagonal, but I don't know where. Somewhere here. Somewhere here. That doesn't seem to be any issue with that. And there would be no issue. Oh, what I fail to see is that 7 has to be somewhere here. And that doesn't seem to have any impact on the rest. I must be missing some anti-knight geometry. Perhaps something along the lines of what I saw earlier, but I'm really not seeing it. Oh, this can't be a 4, because this cell sees all of those, which are this, except from this one, those are the cells susceptible of containing the 4, so this is not a 4. So it has to be from 3, 6, and 9. But we know that 3 is somewhere in here, but that's not happening. Oh, by the way, knowing that this is not a 3, and this is not a 3 by the knight's move, there has to be a 3 somewhere here, which tells us something about digit 3 that we didn't know at this point. So 3 is not here. Big deal. So 3 has to be in one of those positions. And I'm still completely lost. So the struggle is real after all, as I was mentioning at the beginning. Well, there's something quite interesting here, which is called an XY wing. Yes, that is interesting indeed. This is saying that if this is a 4, then this has to be a 6, and if this is 7, then this has to be a 6. If this is a 6, then the 6 is on the diagonal. And if this is a 6, then 6 is nowhere here. So in both cases, 6 has to be on the diagonal. That is incredible. So this has to be a 6. One of them here is a 6, obviously. 6 is not here. It's not here by the knight's move. So 6 is somewhere in here. 6 is somewhere here, yes. And it looks like it doesn't bring much more to the table. So those digits are from 2, 3, and 5. Let's pencil mark this by brute force. Well, 6 is up there. We know that for sure. 6 is somewhere in here. So this is an unusually long video, but the difficulty of the puzzle justifies that. So what about the other digits? Is there anything about this other digit? Well, obviously it's not here. And it's not here by the knight's move. And it's not here because they are not the same digits. So this digit here must be somewhere there. Which is not saying much. This is 3 or 4. 3 is the only one that I didn't put as a corner pencil mark. One of them here is a 6, which means that by the knight's move, this is not 6. And that's interesting because on this row now 6 has to be here. This is from 3, 4, 5. I must plug my battery in. Yes, I didn't expect this video to go for so long, although I could have anticipated that, knowing that the puzzle was really tricky. So what about this 6? Now, well, 6 is somewhere in here. We already knew that. We know, because there's a 6 in here, we know that 6 can't be here by the knight's move. We know it's not here. But 3 places remain. Oh! Oh! So on this row now, 6 is not here by the knight's move. It's not here. It's not here because 6 has to be on the diagonal. So 6 is here. So that's not a 6. And this is still quite difficult. This is now from 3, 4, 5. We know that those digits are identical. So this digit here is nowhere there. And I already mentioned that, and it led me absolutely nowhere. What about this row? We still need 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 3 here, so this is from 2, 4, 5. And actually, this is also from 2, 4, 5. Oh, but oh yes, 6 is here in this region, so 6 is not here. That's not a 3, that's not a 3. Here we get a 4, 5 pair, so this is 3. That's not 3, and that's not 3 because of the knight's move, and that's a 3. Now we're talking. This now makes this a 6. So that's not a 6, and the 6 is here. And do we have all of them? Not yet. I still need a 6 somewhere in here. But I don't know where at this point. And yes, some people did solve it in the allotted time. But you know, that's the World Championship. There are very good people in there. So 2, 3, 4, 5 on this row. There's a 2 here, so this is from 3, 4, 5. There's a 3 in here, there's a 3 in there. Yes, that's still not helping. 3 in here. 3 in here. Still not helping. I still don't know what digit is in here. Those are from 3, 7, 9. This is from 3 and 7. 3, 7, 9. So 3, 4, 5. Not helping. This is an absolute nightmare. Something of interest is that this digit is nowhere here, and it's not here by the knight's move. So this digit is the same as this, and it's different from that. So it has to appear somewhere here. Yes, it has to appear somewhere here. This digit here is different from this, is different from that by the night swoop. So this digit also appears here. Perhaps I should use some coloring. This digit is the same as that, is the same as this, so it must be somewhere in here. And it must be in one of those two places, and one of those. And one of those. It's also here. And in one of two places here. And I don't think I can do better than that for this digit that still has to be determined. That's as bobbins as a moment as I've ever seen. All right, so this really didn't help. Of course, the temptation is high of bifurcating. It would be so easy to just try digit 5 into this cell, for example. But there has to be some nice logic with Antiknight. It has to be right. I'm just not seeing it. What about this digit? So this digit is different from that, so it's different from that. So this digit is somewhere here. And it's somewhere here. And it's not here, obviously, just because it's not that. Oh, and by the way, this digit here is nowhere here, so it's the same as that. So it has to be here. I already mentioned this logic. So at this point, I'm wondering whether I will be keeping this video. So is there anything about the 4s or the 5s? just about the threes, knowing that the threes are here. And the threes are here, which doesn't help at all. So I just put the video on hold because I was struggling too much, and then I just noticed something, which is that if this is a 4, then this has to be a 9, this has to be a 4. And I just don't remember what else I saw. If this is a 5, and this has to be a 5, this has to be a 4. I was thinking that this had to be a 4 anyway, but I just don't see why. So that was probably a mistake, but what if it was not? But, well, what I noticed is that if this is a 5, then there is a 4 in here, and this can't be a 4 anymore. In which case, this is a 7. This is what I've been missing, I think. Yes. There's a 4 in one of those cells, and this cell here sees all 3 cells. Actually, oh, this cell sees all 4 cells here. I mentioned that earlier. So this is different from 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has to be a 7. And this is it. And this is 4, so that's not 4. That's not 4, and this is 4 on the diagonal. So that has to be the 4, that has to be the 4, that has to be the 4. And we get the 5 here. We get the 9 there. That's not 9, but this is 9. Now, because of this, 3 doesn't appear here. That's the 3, and that's not 4. And so 9 can only be here on this row. This is now from 2, 5. This is also from 2, 5. Right? I'm just seeing if I'm not missing something. Well, I may be missing something, but this is some real progress. Oops. Now this is not 4, obviously. 2, 3, 5. So let's just remove the coloring. I may have to do some coloring on 2, 5 pairs, but for the moment, let's just ponder. This is from 2, 3. I still need a 7 somewhere. I don't know where. This is from 2 and 7. This is from 2, 3, 7. This is from 3, 5, 7. This is from 2, 3, 5. This 9 is not here, it's there. Is not here, it has to be there. So that's the 5. That's the 2. 5, 2, 3, 2, 3. By the nice move, this is 7. 3, 2, 3, 7. This is not over. So those digits are from 2, 5, and 6. So this is from 5 and 6. And that's not a 5. 5 is here. That's a 6. That's a 7. This is 2, 5 pair. This is a 7. This is from 2 and 5. It's still not over. That has to be a 6. This is from 2 and 5. So what have I been missing? This 2 disambiguates the lot. Ooh. And this is it. So it was quite the journey. The kind of overlong videos that you're not used to seeing on my channel, because I've chosen not to do the same as Cracking the Cryptic, who are specialized in very difficult puzzles with just incredibly long solves. So this was not as long as the standard Simon solve, but this was much longer than what I'm used to on this channel. But the puzzle was just the struggle. Thanks for sticking to the end. See you sometime on SudoKanard.